And all of our vendors that came out, I want to know all. Also thanks to Urban Cast for coming out and giving us some coverage on this event. At this time, we're going to ask Reverend Clifford Persons to come up and give us a quick prayer and a blessing of this event, and then we're going to start moving forward.
Amen. All right.
Yeah.
Brother Sterling said quick prayer, so that means not the Baptist one. All heads about God the Father, you said in your word in Psalm number 1, that blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Thank you for these young people who are here at the symposium today, and these parents and all of the educators and all of the groups and the sorority has put this together to give us a few minutes to talk about our youth. Bless them, Lord God, to be men and women of integrity. Thank you for their boldness to stand today and to work together to make our community better. We thank you for your love for us, God, and we thank you for your son, Jesus Christ, who died. I pray that this is a wonderful symposium and that it will grow from here and spread across our land. It's in the mighty name of Jesus Christ we pray. Let those that know you say amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Yes, sir. All right, how y'all doing? Right now, I'm going to introduce the youth that we have speaking today. Zachary Garrison. Zachary Garrison, he's 13. He's the J president at Arthur F. Smith.
All right. All right.
Next we have Mr. Corlin Marcotte. He's 16. He's student council, speech and debate aide from Peabody High School.
All right.
Marilyn Butler, 18 years old, Peabody High School, and she is a speaker representing faith, just fighting against violence everywhere. So I want to thank y'all for y'all time and y'all energy for cooking. This is very important.
Yes, sir.
This is living year part 2. Last year when we put on the event, we wanted to make sure we create like a platform or a space for the youth to speak. A lot of times, like we always feel like we know the solution. We always think we know what's right, but guess what? Who's getting directly affected by what's going on in our community is the youth. And they just wanted to come out and tell you, like, what do they see, what they think the solutions are, and how as a community we can come together more often. You can see our panel, it's a great panel, but we need to do things like this more often. So we do know and understand that there's other youth out there that needs to speak. And if they had the opportunity, they would. So how can we create like this safe, inviting space where there's no judgment so they can open up and tell you about what's going on with them? A lot of times they know the solution. We just haven't taken the time to say, what do you think? What do you see? So that's what we're going to do today. All right, next I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Dominique Teasley, and then I'm going to open up for the youth to speak.
Hey, how y'all doing? So, Mr. Jarvis pretty much said it all, man. I'm just grateful to be a part of something like this, to give our youth, an opportunity to kind of speak what they feel they need in the community. My man Courtney said it best at the last event. He said, when you're coming up with solutions for them, he said, how can you do that if we don't have a seat at the table? So it made so much sense. And, I can't wait to hear them speak today. And then after them, we have the mothers, we get to hear them speak their heart and see how they feel and the effect of what's going on in our community. And hopefully from this event, we'll be able to birth something. I know Jarvis then was joking on me because I was talking about somebody getting pregnant and something being birthed. Well, what I meant, this is the incubation period. This is where something is going to be created. This is where all the manifesting and the prayers and the thoughts meet up and something is created. And then the birthing is going to be the solution. And when that solution goes into action and we're able to see some type of change, that's what we're striving for. That's what we're hoping for. We're trying to do it with love. We appreciate everybody for being out here. And now we're going to give it back to Mr. Jarvis. And Jarvis works tirelessly. Like he's good with the youth. He connects with the youth and he tries to get them out and get them involved. So, I want to give him and Sterling a hand for, and also the sorority for having us and allowing us to partner with them. Like, this is big, you know, this is bigger than what we think. And only if, you know, they had that saying, if just one person, that's all we need. It's better, just one, a half a person, whatever. If any kind of change is a change for the better, and we appreciate y'all. All right, Jarvis, you ready? Thank y'all. I was gonna sing for y'all, but Jarvis and Sterling told me not to, so.
Amen.
All right, y'all, we can go ahead and open up the floor. Make sure y'all give them a round of applause one more time, please.
Everyone goes first.
I'm sorry, record.
Hey everyone, how are you doing on this amazing day? My name is Jackie Garrison, the JAG president at Arthur's Nuclear Magazine. My opinion on gun violence is tougher gun laws and penalties for people, because to see these different families going through all these different hurts and traumas from their kids or loved ones being killed by gun violence is crazy. More visible police people in the community so they can actually see and actually help these people to get to the different scenes quick enough so these parents won't have to deal with these hurts from their loved ones. More awareness programs, such as things like this here. The youth symposium helped me today, even just being here for a few hours, from even the CPR and then going to different classes and speaking with the people. They really helped me. And then I think more school involvement would actually help these students, because they are with us on a day-to-day basis, so they know what we're really feeling and everything. And then I think that it would help us really much. And then even the churches and communities, because the pastors, they can pray for us. They can keep us and guide us in different programs such as our JAG program, the church's youth program. It really helps us because we know that we have someone that we can trust and talk to. So we don't have to go out and deal with all the different gun violence.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And I think our community needs to step in a little bit more.
Yes.
Such as our different people like Mr. Stubbs, Mr. Dominique, and Mr. Jarvis. Because they shape us, like you stated, it really helps because they know that you have people to go to even through your heartache and time.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
And he did well, man.
Yeah.
And then the thing about it is, like, I just asked him maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago, and he was like, yeah, I got this. I'm gonna stay over there. Yes.
Tell us about your organization.
Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? So my name is Mary Lynn. Today I was picked to come up here and speak on my opinion on gun violence. And my opinion is it's not needed. I personally, I lost 2 people, well, 4 people over the years, 2 just last year. And it hurts me to, it hurts me to just see my loved ones and see other people, loved ones in the ground or in, not with them. I have to wear my cousin around my necklace, around my neck, around my neck.
Take your time.
And I,
It's okay, Mom. Okay. It's okay, Mom. It's okay. It's real. Yeah. It's real.
it's all right.
Great.
So, hi, my name is Marilyn, and today I was asked to give my opinion on the violence that's going on. How I see it, the violence is not needed. It causes pain and suffering for the victim loved ones. I have to fear for mine and everyone I lose lives, simply because people don't know how to put the guns down. Due to gun violence, I lost 4 cousins over the years, 2 just last year. And the fact that I have to say this hurts my soul, because I, I never thought I had to see my cousin be buried so soon. And I'm wearing my cousin around my neck right now. They were both only 19 when their lives were both taken from you. I shouldn't have to get up here and talk about the pain that I endured because I lost my cousin's to violence. Because all of this killing comes in hands, the community comes together. We can keep our youth off the streets by opening community centers and other places that our youth can enjoy going to. And also holding residents to speak with the youth and persuade them to go a different route in life.
Thank you so much. You did well.
You did well.
How y'all doing this evening? My name is Cortland Marcotte. I'm a junior at Peabody Magnet High School. I'm the vice president of the student council. I'm the captain of the speech and debate team. And I just want to say, these two right here did an amazing job coming up here and speaking their minds today. And what we're trying to speak about is gun violence. He offers solutions, she offers solutions. And I think that they're both going to help this community. On average, 575 Louisianans are going to die each year from gun violence. Over 1,000 Louisianans will be injured each year from gun violence. Gun violence is sick. We've seen from what she just said. We're losing loved ones right now. I don't think community centers are going to work. Even though this event is so great, and I commend all of you for setting up these things, I don't think that's enough. Before we can talk policy, we first have to understand who are we putting in office. Our new governor, Jeff Landry, has just implemented Proclamation 13 JNL, which not only states that we're no longer going to see 16-year-olds, 15 or 14-year-olds as children, as minors, meaning now we're going to send them to prison with the adults. And at the end of that proclamation, it's item 24. It states, you can now conceal carry without a permit. That is the slap in the face. These mothers in this community who have lost their sons, their daughters, their uncles, their mothers, their parents. It's sickening. We can't come up with policy yet. We have to understand who we are putting into office.
That's right.
Our governor doesn't care about black people. Our congresswoman doesn't care about black people. The Speaker of the House doesn't care about black people. Over 400 million guns are in America. There's only 330 million Americans. There's more guns than people ratio. We have the weakest gun laws in the country.
Come on, Carter.
We can't use community centers. The church can't help us. We can't rely on our mayor. We have to vote.
That's right.
Alexandria is filled with 26,000 registered voters. How many people voted in the mayoral campaign? 12,000. Barely half, just over half, voted in the election. Every day we're looking at, we have to change policy. We have to implement these gun laws. That's not going to work. Why? Because for one, it falls on us. We don't vote. And that's the truth. I see all these faces in here today. You might vote, but the ratio to blacks in Alexandria won't vote.
Right.
Our community needs to step up, and that's the truth. Because gun violence, it's killing people.
Yeah.
It's taking black children's lives away. What our new governor just implemented is hunting season for blacks. We're looking back in Jim Crow era. They are going to kill us. We're electing prosecutors to the highest positions in this state. Why? Because we don't vote. We can't implement policies yet. We gotta get people who don't wanna play the game before we can even talk about change. Thank you.
All right.
Get it, give him another round of applause and give him all the way around. Thank all three of y'all. All three of them. For these young men and this young lady to be up here to speak the way they spoke.
Yes, sir.
And when I say speak the way they spoke to us how we were spoken to when we were coming up. But this time it's them speaking to us, and that's the purpose of Lemmy here. It's time for us as adults to sit down and listen to what our youth have to say. And we're going to continue this process as long as we're able to have breath in our bodies. And I'm going to hold that to myself, Jarvis, and Dominique, and all the people that's in this room that's participating with us. I just want to touch on what he just talked about with these new laws being passed. And I got an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old. And they still say I'm mean, I'm this, I'm that, but no, I'm being a responsible parent. I'm being a responsible father. Because you're not gonna come in the house and I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what you're bringing up in here. I'm gonna flip the drawers open. I'm gonna pull up the mattress. I'm gonna look under the bed. I'm gonna tell you to give me your phone. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you to give you my phone, because it's my phone. It's in my name. Pay the bill. So I need to know what's going on because I don't want nothing coming at the house behind some nonsense. I just can't allow it to happen. But I'm looking at these new laws being passed, and just like he said, 17-year-olds finna get tried as an adult. And the reason why is because the minors from the age of 12 up to 17 years old are the ones commit the major crimes, right? The most violent crimes. And when you look at what happened in New Orleans to that older white lady, that is why all of this has been set forth. Because when a woman that's going to her car on her lunch break gets carjacked, beat up, and then she's trying to hold on to her vehicle, hold on to her deal like her arm gets severed from her back, you can't expect them to go to the juvenile facility. I spoke with a few of the prosecutors here in town, and what she told me is that we don't want to send you to prison for the rest of your life. We don't want to have to sit here and put you in front of the jury and the judge for a death penalty. But if you take a life, we have to do our job and we need your life. So I want y'all to think about that. At 17 years old, you go out and kill somebody now, you're not coming back home. They're going to give you 40 years. That's the minimum amount of time you're going to get with no probation, no parole, no good time. So at 17, you go get 40 flat. You 57 if you make it out of there. Because you don't know what's really going on behind those prison walls. That's a whole nother city inside of the city. And if you ain't never been locked up in that box, trust me, you don't know what it's like. I didn't stay long, but I was in there long enough to realize this wasn't me. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get the young men and young women to see is that the people that's up there speaking, they're speaking from the heart because they've been affected by what's going on out here in these streets. And in these streets, it's nothing to play with. The concrete jungle is what they call it because they got all kind of predators out there hunting the prey. And the prey that they're looking for is these young, fresh minds that's lost, that don't know what it is to be out here. Then when you get exposed to that fruit that's waiting on you, that's out there, that ain't no good for you, you take a piece of it. Oh, here we go. We got it. We baked them in. We cooked them. Let's get them. And you got a lot of the older drug dealers and the older gang members recruiting the young men and young women out here in the streets to do their bidding, telling you, hey, you get caught, you're just going to go do juvenile life. You'll be home when you're 18. Not no more. Not no more. You do it now, at 17, you get charged an adult. But 16 down to 12, 13 years old, they can make a choice to charge you as an adult. And 9 times out of 10, they gonna charge you as an adult because as the young man said, when you look at it, we are elected prosecutors to the highest positions to impose law and order. These are the folks that sit here and lock you up as prosecutors on the local level. And now they're federal judges, they're congressmen on the state and federal level, imposing all of these laws that affects us. And I want y'all to pay attention to something right here in Louisiana. There's a lot of farmland out there that's about to start getting developed. And they're gonna start privatizing a lot of these prisons and building new prisons. Because where you gonna put all these folks in? They got to put them somewhere. So we want y'all to wake up and be aware of what's going on. I want to thank y'all one more time. Give them another round of applause. And I want y'all to go take a seat out that way because we're going to invite these mothers to come up and a few more people that we're going to have speak to come sit up there on this panel because we want y'all to hear from that standpoint what these mothers and these and a couple of young men as uncles and fathers and stuff, what they are going through on a daily basis so that y'all can witness and hear and see how their lives have been affected since they lost their loved ones. So at this time, we're just gonna ask y'all to switch positions and stuff, and we're gonna introduce y'all as y'all come up. Thank y'all.
All right, y'all. So now we get to the mothers being able to speak their hearts. Our viewer discretion. I can tell y'all right now, we didn't prompt these mothers. We didn't give them a script. We didn't tell them what to say and what not to say. So I know it's gonna be a lot of emotions that's gonna be coming out of these mothers. So I just wanna, just tell y'all to be ready. But this is the effects of what we have going on in our community, the loss, the pain. I can tell you about some type of pain, but I can't tell you about this type of pain, right? I can tell you what it's like to struggle with mental health. I can tell you what it's like to struggle with addiction. I can tell you what it's like to be depressed and all that kind of stuff, but I don't have the experience with grief and that type of pain, especially as a mother or a father. So we want their voices to be heard. We have Miss LaShonda. I keep wanting to call her Little Boogie. Miss Allison Frail, Miss Tamika Brown, and Mr. DeWan Buckner. And he's not going to be speaking as a mother. He's going to be speaking as someone, as a loved one. And that was his daughter that spoke, right? That was his daughter that spoke to y'all earlier. So, so we're grateful. We thank y'all for being willing to come and do this. And I guess we could start with Mr. Buckner. You want to go first?
Okay.
All right. So thank y'all. Y'all give him a. Again, nobody was prepared for this, man.
All right. Excuse me. First off, I'd like to give an honor to God. He's the author and the finisher of my faith. And the young lady that spoke earlier, that's my daughter.
Amen.
Ain't she cute? All right. Well, I just want to say, I struggle with what I was going to talk about every day. But now I know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to give a tribute, acknowledge, and introduce you to my cousin, Dee Dee. There's some things about Dee Dee. One thing that Dee Dee was, if you ever was anything, Dee Dee was a hustler. That's what Dee Dee was. All day, every day, 24/7, 365, he would hustle. Good, bad. It didn't matter. If he was out there to get it, Dee Dee was going to get it. You better believe it. That's what he was. That's my cousin. The other thing that he was a prankster. That's who Dee Dee was. Yeah. I remember one time, there was a sleepover. Dee Dee, everyone was asleep. So, everybody was going around, Then all of a sudden you wake up, this dude done got toothpaste all up in their hair, all on his side. Just, it was crazy. This one dude, Chris, he had toothpaste. Oh, that was back here. Yeah, guess what? Yeah, he was something else. My cousin. Yeah. So crap. All right. Well, anyways, the other thing was, he was a hustler. He was a prankster. But the one thing that happened in Dee's life that really changed him was he was a father. He became a father. And so what happened was he turned 180. So, with him being out there, drinking, stealing, doing whatever, the good and bad, whatever he wanted to do, that was deep. But once he had them kids, I like to believe that he found the Lord, so he became a manager. He worked at Pine Thirst, so you have to care for people, huh? Oh, same areas, okay. Yeah, that was deep, and yeah, that was my cousin. And I want to propose to you this one thing: a bullet. That's what kills. If you had to pay $5,000 for a bullet, what would you use it on? Because us, ain't nobody paying $5,000 for the bullets. It'd be bootleg bullets. Yeah, crazy. But like I say, I've never used a bullet before on nobody, but I would use it to preserve or to protect life, not to take life. So I thank you all. I want to bless you all. Stop the violence. Amen.
All right, y'all. Thank you, Duane. We appreciate it. I like the part he said one thing he was, and what changed him was being a father. And so I commend him on that. And so next we have Miss Tamika Brown. She's gonna come up here and share y'all what she has to say. Thank y'all. All right.
Good afternoon. I'm gonna tell y'all about my daughter and her best friend who was murdered 3 years ago. Kids, I really want y'all to pay attention because my daughter was smart, straight A's. She was planning on going to the Army. She knocked the ASVAB test out of the park. The Army wanted her. She met this young man, didn't think that he was that type. He was in my house. I treated him like family. She never told me that she was going through abuse. I felt something was wrong because she started losing weight. She wasn't my same happy daughter. So, I never imagined of losing my only girl, my oldest child, at the age of 19, the day before her birthday. Because the punk, and I'm sorry to say that, could not let go. He hit her, he robbed her, he threatened her, and I asked her friends, did she tell y'all anything? And they would tell me, no, Mama, she's not telling us nothing, we don't know nothing. But the day she was killed, the very next day, I started getting texts. Yes, Mama, pictures of bruises that she showed her friends. I had to tell them to stop. She's gone. There's nothing I can do now. Abuse is real.
Yes.
It is real. If they're hiding your keys, stalking you, asking where you at, it's abuse. I found out later that he used to sit outside her job waiting on her to get off work. I never knew none of this. I didn't even know the signs of abuse until I started studying on signs of abuse because I had to say, Lord, what can I do to make a change so another parent won't go through this? So I started doing seminars. And when I started reading on abuse, I cried. I said, Lord, this was in my face. I seen all this. And I could not help my baby. 19, her best friend was 20. Her birthday was the very next day. We had plans to celebrate her birthday. It's hell out there, young people, that you can get. Know that. Talk to a trusted adult, a teacher, a pastor, somebody. It has the domestic violence hotline where you can call the 1-800 number or text START to 88788. It has a family justice center that I found out about after my child was killed. If she probably would have knew this stuff then, she could have probably been saved. They're over in Pineview. I never knew none of this until after. As a mother, knowing that my child was murdered and her best friend was taken, it's been 3 years. It don't even seem like 3 years. It went by so fast. I have to go to the grave now, and I have to go and visit my baby. I can't see that smile or that beautiful voice of hers. I even, I want to help so much, y'all, I talk to young people at work, and I'm studying all over the place because I'm nervous. So I'm trying not to cry. But I'm gonna tell you just a little bit more about Ashley. She had the most beautiful, amazing voice.
Yes.
Could sing.
Same.
She did hair. That was my makeup artist. That was my beautician. She was my best friend. And I had to bury my baby. And that's why, young people, you got to talk to somebody. If you can't talk to your parents, I'm on Facebook. I even make business cards that I want somebody to pass out to parents. Hook me up. Talk to me. You don't have to take abuse. Abuse is in men. A man get abused. You don't have to take abuse. To know that my baby was killed by someone that she thought she could change, that she truly loved. To know that he stood over her and killed her like an animal. To know that my baby lay in a closet. It's hard. But one thing I want you to do, young people, and I want y'all to all look up here at me. Xavier, my blood. If your friends tell you they're being abused,
My.
don't hold their secret. Tell somebody, because you would rather tell your friend's secret for them to live again than to have to lay your eyes on your friend.
My God, my God.
You don't want to look at your friend in a casket. Pay attention, young people. This is real. This is real. I had to bury my baby, my best friend. I'll never get away from my daughter. I'll never get away from my child. Please don't. I'll never hear mama love you. Please take abuse for real.
All right, y'all, so want to thank Miss Tamika Turner. She had on this card, I want y'all to get this phone number, those who are watching through Urban Cast. Love don't hurt, stop domestic abuse, and this is Miss Tamika Turner. And her phone number is 318-229-3149. We really appreciate you being bold and coming out here and speaking your pain. One thing I love is that she's doing the work and bringing awareness. She gave some resources, the Family Justice Center over in Pineville. This is her number, y'all connect with her. If you know somebody who's struggling or going through some type of abuse, if you yourself, please contact her so that she can help guide y'all. She found her purpose through her loss, and we really appreciate her. Again, you guys, I told y'all we didn't script this, so please just be aware that some things may be said that may bring out emotions. So we just want people to be able to see the after effect and the pain that comes from what's going on in our community. So next, we have Miss Allison Freer. She's gonna come up and speak. She's a part of an organization her friend started called Moms, and that's mothers of murdered sons, and they're trying to get their voice heard through awareness and advocacy. And them coming up here speaking is exactly what they're doing. They're bringing awareness, they're bringing advocacy, and they're fighting to try and make a change in our community for those who are losing people to gun violence. I appreciate y'all. So Miss Allison, come on up. This is my friend, y'all.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alexandria, and I'm here just to let you know about losing your kids and how it affects the mothers. I have two sons that were murdered in Alexandria from gun violence, Xavier Terrell Tillman Taylor and Derek Darnell Taylor Jr. Xavier was killed in 2008 by an older gentleman, senseless. I'm sorry. I've been 15 years without him. No hugs. Didn't get to see him have any kids. He didn't get to meet his sister. He didn't get to show the world his potential because of stupidity. And then in 2021, I lost my second oldest. As I stand in front of you guys, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And I lost him from a family friend. And I will never get to see him get married. I will never get to see him having children. But I still have another son left. And I'm scared for him as a Black young man because we know that it can happen. So my advice to you young people and to you parents, don't think it can't happen. Because it can. It doesn't matter what side of town you come from. It doesn't matter what color you are. It can happen. I just want to tell you young people, live your lives. Enjoy your lives. Because it can be taken just like that. And then we're left here to grieve. Because it don't just affect them, it affects all of us. The community, the parents, the siblings. If you knew him, his friends, I need y'all to understand that these laws that they are imposing are not for them. They're for us. They're for our children. We all know at 18 years old, most of our young Black men already have felonies or they already are in some kind of trouble with the law. So they can't get guns. But the little white boys can. I need you young parents and young people to go out here to these polls and read up on these laws like that young man did. I don't read it where you at. Of course, there he is. He knows his stuff. They are gonna lock y'all up if y'all breathe wrong, if you read it. I need y'all to open up your eyes. You don't need guns for nothing. When I was coming up, we had these, and then we went home. These days, y'all can't do that, because if you say anything wrong, next thing you know, there's a gun. Next thing you know, somebody's mom and dad is crying. We have to stop this. We have to stop this, and it starts with these young babies right here. We gotta start teaching them that there's right from wrong, and you can walk away. It doesn't mean that you're scared. It doesn't mean that you're a punk or whatever they say, these new languages they have out here, young people. It doesn't mean anything but that you wanna live. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to live. It's nothing wrong, because I wish mine was still here. I wish that I could see mine every day. I wake up every morning, and when I talk to God, I talk to him too. Sometimes I felt like I was dealt a bad card, but at the end of the day, God doesn't put no more on me than I can bear. And that's why I'm still standing here, and I'm still gonna fight, and I'm gonna keep fighting until we can save y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. We really appreciate your bravery. All of y'all, we appreciate all of y'all bravery. Next, we're gonna have Hell Boogie come and speak. Thank you, Michelle.
How y'all doing? Before I even get started, y'all, I want to take the time to thank these kings and queens, these leaders, these inspirational people, Sterling, Jarvis, Dominique, and the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho, for taking the initiative to help the community in this way. I strongly believe that we have the power to heal ourselves and be the changes that we want to see in the world, and it's efforts such as this Youth Summit and Lending Your Ear that are demonstrative of that. I want to thank y'all for having, I want to thank you, the audience, for actively participating in these discussions and acknowledge that it takes a lot of strength and vulnerability to break down topics such as these on this level of engagement, but it's so necessary. Our pain matters, our efforts matter, because we matter. Life very rarely gives you your accolades for moving forward in a positive direction after you've been dealt a negative blow. No one is following you around, printing out certificates like, here you go, good job. So let's clap it up for all of us today that are here. I just want to say before I go any further, y'all, this room should be packed. It should have been no seats left. It should be people standing in every corner. The way that this issue has ravaged this community and affected us.
That's right.
All that should have been here today. So I do want to say that was off topic, off script. I want to thank y'all for having me. It's nothing like being at home. So glad that I got to come back for this opportunity. I wish it had been under more positive circumstances, but I do feel like we're doing the most positive that we can do, with what's happened. Many of you may know me as LaShonda Moss. That's my name that I grew up with here. A lot of you know me as L Boogie from 98.7. My married name now is LaShonda Collins. That's my husband, Brian. In these days, I call myself Goddess Sunshine. I work as a resiliency coach, and I believe that my purpose in life is to be a light. The reason that I was asked to speak here today is because, like several other mothers here, I've also lost children. My oldest son, Kenny Kuti Jr., was killed here in Alexandria on April 17th of 2022. If you are familiar with our story, then you might know that his younger brother, who was 19, was killed just months previously in Houston in February of 2022. I miss them every single day. I talk to my babies every day too. And I've had a lot of time to think about everything since they've been gone. I remember the first year that their parents, their childhood played out in the backdrop of my mind. I will see us waiting for the bus. I will see us going to church. I will see us running errands after school, spending time with family, celebrating holidays and events. It just played, you know how you put a movie on in the background and you go and do something else? That's how that childhood was playing out in my mind. If I tuned into it, I would lose days at a time. I remember finding myself sobbing and doubled over, just holding my womb. I can't explain it. It's an empty, numb feeling that hits every now and again. And I say I can't explain it, but I feel like I can only make sense to me. That's my body. Remembering people that it grew, people that it housed, and people that I birthed, and realizing that those people are gone. I was so angry, I immediately started looking for people to blame. I was telling Tawana earlier when we were talking, I was making a list, everybody who had given something, who showed them something, who put something in their hand and walked off and left them holding it, especially those people that are still here. And it didn't hit me until Kenji's birthday last December that I was on all of those lists that I was making. It hit me that their deaths actually concluded a chapter that featured me trying to love them, showing up with my trauma-fractured heart. Trauma fractures your heart just like a car crash fractures a body. It busts it up. I want y'all to think about how much help people get after a car crash. You got first responders, surgeons, physicians, nurses, and then rehabilitation given whatever happened to you. Imagine being in a car crash and not receiving that aid. If you lived, imagine how different your life would be with an improperly fixed broken arm or leg, a missing arm or leg, embedded glass, or other wounds and lacerations that you had to self-patch. That's how it is going through life after facing emotional trauma and not getting the help that you need. And I'm pretty sure that my broken heart was not always showing those boys love. I'm aware that at times, most often, I presented as unhealed. I was still living around in emotional pain. So despite my best attempts to show love, I was showing them fear, distrust, envy, negative self-worth behaviors. I talked at them, not to them, and I expected them to be better than me in the sense that I expected them to have a strong enough sense of self to be able to be around other people and say, I don't want to do that. That's not me. And in all reality, I didn't have a strong enough sense of self to impart to them because it had already been beat out of me, if we're being honest. I'm here to tell y'all that as long as we continue to raise our children in trauma, the results will continue to be traumatic for us all. And when I say our children, I don't mean our children that are gone, because those children belong to all of us, just like all of these children belong to all of us. And it's easy to sit back and say, well, that ain't my baby. That ain't gonna happen to mine. It's happening to their friends. And as hurt as we are, that baby broke my heart today. Having to tell us about how she lost 4 people that were close to her and she got a little cousin on her neck now. Those are the people that are being the most impacted by what's going on. You might think, well, I'm gonna miss my baby forever. Imagine your best friend being killed when you were 16, 17, 18, and having to take it through the rest of your life. Not just your best friend, because for a lot of these kids, it's the best friend, the cousin, the older brother, and you carrying that with you for the rest of your life, y'all. We strong enough to be able to be like, you know what, they hurt me, but I'm gonna do something with it. We can't guarantee that our children are going to feel that way. I believe, like I told you earlier, that we do have the capability of healing ourselves, and I believe that we sharing that for one another. And like I said, it's initiatives such as these that get it going. I know that together we can turn this room full of pain into a room full of purpose. I already know my purpose, I was just running from it. Losing the boys turned me around now. I told you all earlier that I work as a resiliency coach, and I do have a free ebook. It shares 4 vital things that help me turn pain into purpose after losing Kenji and Cortland. The book is called Finding the Resilience to Honor the Ones We Lost. It's about 20 pages. It's a really quick read, and again, it's free. If you guys would do me a favor and turn your AirDrop on, I'm gonna actually just AirDrop everybody the link to the link tree. It's okay if you can't get it that way, you know what I'm saying? If you catch me afterwards, I give it to you, or you can get it from somebody else who was able to get it AirDrop to them. I'm sorry, I'll bear with me. Pull it up. I'm sorry, baby. Look, I told my baby earlier this week. I was like, girl, I ain't wearing no makeup. And then the closer that we got to it, I was like, and I ain't doing my lashes neither. I'm not going to sit up there and cry all that off. I'm glad we able to come together though, and not only talk, but laugh under the circumstances, y'all, because that's healing. Whether you want to realize it or not. All right, I just need a couple seconds. Don't worry if yours ain't working my name either. All right, I got it. So while I work on it, get back to what I was saying. I do want to just briefly go through the book with y'all because this is a lot of things in there that did actually help me. So the first chapter is defining your beliefs about the afterlife for yourself. It covers abandoned and limiting beliefs that we may hold surrounding death and the afterlife. This information was helpful to me because for the longest after Kenji and Carmen died, the things that I struggled with the most were knowing that my baby was in pain when it was dying, and especially with Carmen, the fact that he died by himself. And when I say I struggled with it, I agonized over those things so much. Some days I was like, I'm done. And it wasn't until I chose to believe 2 other things that I ran across instead. The first is the last seconds of your life are not spent in pain. They're spent with you being showered by loving memories from your life. And the second is that when you die, you're greeted by everyone who ever loved you. So choosing to believe those 2 things gave me comfort and peace, and it allowed me to stop suffering in that way. And the real value in that is that if you can understand how to identify limiting beliefs that you may hold that are holding you back in life and replace them with positive beliefs instead, it's possible to empower yourself in so many ways. The second chapter is about accepting that grief is lonely. The chapter covers giving yourself grace to accept that the journey is of one and all that encompasses. Grief is personal. None of us grieve the same. Grief is unnerving, both for the person trying to comfort and for the person that's supposed to be receiving the comfort. You don't know what to do or say to help somebody that's hurting in that way. And because it's not received often enough, a lot of times the person that's supposed to be receiving the comfort doesn't know how to take it without falling apart. Grief is also one of those things that although we may all experience it, What may have been the end of your world was just another Friday or Sunday night to someone else. It wasn't personal to them because it didn't happen to their child. And that's where grace comes in, both for yourself and for others. And it's another one of those things that you can learn to apply it in that aspect. You can use it in other ways in your life. The third chapter is about feeling your feelings, not living in them. Cry when you need to cry, but know when to seek help. Know that asking for help is a sign of strength. We were able to get family counseling after the boys died, and I know I needed more than that, but I still strongly recommend locating resources and using them early and often. Make a list and don't be afraid to use it. When people make themselves or services available to you and you consider it safe, make them a resource. And all of the mothers in this room, all of the mothers that we know that have faced a similar situation, y'all don't discount each other. We are powerful together. And I cannot imagine the things that we can get done if we were able to harness that power and use it to do something positive out of the situation. So I'm encouraging you to make yourselves available to one another. We do have a unique pain, and there are so many of us. So be sure that you share resources and encouragement with one another. Also, another thing is develop self-compassion. Most of us are dealing with complicated grief. Some of us compounded complicated grief. We did not just lose children. We feel like we lost our futures. We lost our tangible hopes and dreams, our life's work to this point. And regardless of how your child died, your pain is absolutely valid. Self-compassion is the ability to treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. A way to love yourself authentically, because whether we realize it or not, grief gives us time to and for ourselves. Time stops. Don't lose it, use it. Pray, journal, meditate, evolve. The fourth and final chapter is about honoring our lost loved ones. We have to go on to live bright, beautiful, and meaningful lives. The same lives that they would have wanted for us or better. We have to shine for them. Cromwell was love, not just regular love. He was considerate love. He was let me go out of my way and do this for you, even if it's not gonna help me love. Kenji was joy. There was always time to stop and have a joke with him. If you were a burden and he saw you, he wanted to see that frown turned upside down. Yep. So those are two things that I have to be. I have to radiate and exude joy and love because that's what they left me. What did your babies leave you? When we find ways to honor their legacies and bestow blessings to others in their names, whether it be words of encouragement or wisdom or acts or deeds, they live on forever. So there is a lot in those 20 pages that I still have not airdropped, but I'm gonna do it. There's also some other free resources in that link tree. And I just pressed you through the book. I still think you should read it, but there is a guided journal. It's full of prompts, exercises, and activities that are geared towards helping you in your grief journey. I just ask that you share it, and I make myself available. I offer my services, and the link for that is also included in the link tree that I'm gonna send out. I'm looking particularly to help women develop resiliency after any major life events, especially ones that involve complicated grief. I want to thank y'all for listening to my story. I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to say Kenji and Carlin's names. I feel so grateful because I know we all need this. And I want to ask y'all to please continue to support these kings and queens and their initiatives to empower this community. If you take nothing else with you that I said today, please let it be the resolve to turn this room full of pain into a room full of purpose.
Thank you. So yeah, that was good. So make sure y'all get that book because it's needed. And I love how she said, make sure we turn pain into purpose. And I also like how she said that she always knew her purpose, but she just was running from it. So if you catch yourself running from your purpose right now, I want y'all to slow down. Am I running from my purpose? What can I do in this moment right now to help myself and to help others? And that's where we find my purpose. Now, before we close with the mothers, my wife wrote a poem when she was in a place when a lot of stuff was going on that was hitting her close to home. And if she don't mind, I'd like her to read that poem. It's called His Will, His Way. So, if y'all don't mind, let her read this. I can do it.
So I've been doing something, trying to do the work, trying to turn pain into purpose. I've lost 2 uncles to gun violence, 2 nephews to gun violence. Me and LaShonda have been best friends for a long time. Our babies grew up like siblings, and I lost 2 more nephews to gun violence. So it compounds. I learned that grieving is a bridge between pain and acceptance. It is something you have to work through. And this poem that I want to read, I wrote right after we lost Kenji. And I haven't shared it with anybody other than my therapist and my husband. So I hope it helps somebody. It's called His Will, His Way. Damn, God, can you please give us a break? We moving and shaking, pumping and faking, and still nothing is going our way. Or you really doing too much? How can she decipher what's right and wrong when she's exposed to his touch? You're not even giving us a chance to breathe. Rest in peace, KJ and Carly back together. But what about what Cartier needs? They say you're so merciful and yet so full of grace, but you're leaving mothers crying while our children are dying with nothing but blood stains left in their place. These women's vying for a spot at a table that we can't even afford. The opposition is in competition for the best body and the beauty award. Meanwhile, the fathers are rotting away, the children are losing their way, and you, God, you're letting this be. You can't tell me she's more important than me. I'm hungry. I'm broke. My blood pressure high. I feel like I'm having a stroke. Yet still, tomorrow I gotta go. Mine is not an option. Too many people depending on me, and that's real. Facebook and Instagram is giving the enemy a front row seat, logging on every day, giving everybody a thrill. I can't fail. I can't stop. I'm so close to the finish line, but I feel like I'm gonna drop. Pieces of my soul are leaving a trail which leads to a mind that's trapped in hell. You can fix it. Everybody says you can, but it's 7 years later and I'm still struggling. My daddy gone and I just pretend like he's away and I can see him again. You mean to tell me all the love we gave and somebody could actually question it? God, do you hear me? Please don't act like I'm just imagining this. In your word you promised, please tell me, what did I miss? I ask myself all the time, how much more can I take? And then out of nowhere, you're telling me my queen's life is at stake. Trust you, really? I laugh at the thought. I devoted my life to you, and at any moment it could be outlined in chalk. I know his will, his way. Never question God, and he has the final say. But we're so lost and confused. Where is my final resting place?
We was going through a lot when she wrote that poem. We were definitely going through a lot. And you know what? I think in our community, one of the things that we miss our people, I heard LaShonda talk about it. Miss Allison, I know she's connected to it. Miss Tamika, like, it's okay for us to seek out help when we are hurt. It's okay for us to seek professional help. See, in the Black community, I remember growing up when I used to do stuff, and you know what we would pray it out, we would hug it out, and try to love it out. But you know what? Sometimes we have to seek professional help. That's right. You know, we have to seek a therapist. Mm-hmm. We have to seek stuff. We don't have all the information and the knowledge. We can pray, but if we're not taking the right actions with that prayer, then we still won't get no results, right? If I go and plant some seeds and some gravel, I gotta know what kind of dirt to be planting some seeds in if I expect the crop to grow, right? So we gotta stop planting seeds in gravel. If we need help, we get help. We don't get help because we bad people. We get help because we want to become better people, right? And so that's my thing. Seek help. Get help if you need help. I appreciate these mothers. Y'all rock me. Y'all rock me. I'm gonna make sure I get their book. I'm gonna make sure I get that book. I like what you did with that. I love what you did with that. Miss Allison, she always calls me, look, I got another mother. Look, I got somebody over here who need this. I need this. You know, she's always trying to get people connected to treatment and not treatment, to therapy. And then Miss Dominique, I applaud you. Y'all make sure y'all get in contact with her too. With her loss of her daughter, turning it into purpose. We appreciate all of y'all, Sterling and Jarvis, to come up. So they can get the closing statements. And y'all, if y'all need anything from me, my Facebook wide open. You can hit me, you can hit my wife. And y'all know Miss Shonda gave y'all her information, Allison Frail on Facebook, and Miss Tamika Turner. We gave her number, and I would get Urban Cash to put all that information. And he always putting information about mental health and stuff like that. So we will have resources available. Thank y'all.
All right, y'all, we got a bunch of resources already in the building also, but this was an opportunity for people to like network, come together, figure out they not alone. Dr. Keith Fox, he had promised that if anybody want a session with him for brief or anything else, if you attended this session or came to this event, your first session is free. Dr. Keith Fox. Also at Champions Recovery, they started a grieving group. It's called Grief Share. It's gonna be people coming together to share their grief, because a lot of times, you know, like we was in this room right here, when people were sharing, you could feel that energy. Everybody up here became vulnerable, and that was the purpose of us coming together, so people can realize like we not alone. We do have this support. Start reaching out, and that's pretty much it. I'll make sure Sterling can close it out.
He gonna see.
I want to thank the New England chapter of Silver Gamma Road once again for allowing us to be part of the young event. Y'all ladies have done an excellent job in this community year after year after year. And y'all with me out. You know, me and my wife, we be up real late, you know, going over stuff. And these last couple of days been flowing. But I got to give a hats off to her for plugging my nerves a little bit, but keep me on point with everything. But to these mothers, I want to say something to the mothers. Y'all are some real. That is your joy, and y'all continue to push and get that joy. Because every day it's gonna be a challenge. But with that challenge, I know y'all have something y'all holding on to that's gonna make you get out and keep pushing. And we're gonna help you as much as we can. So I want y'all to know that we are available to y'all. Don't hesitate to call, because I'm gonna answer my phone. I might not answer right then and there, but I will get back to you. I promise you. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. Before everyone leaves, ladies and single young road, I want to get with the young men and young women that came out and participated. Really want the whole room. And we're gonna take one big group picture with these mothers and stuff, and then we're gonna be on our way. Hold on, one more. It's fine. Come on.
I just want to thank Dominique, Jarvis, Miss Melissa, Dominique's wife, all these beautiful young ladies out here for coming out and sharing their story. I hope that we touched y'all in some kind of way, especially you young people, and thank you for coming.
And I just want to remind y'all, in October is Domestic Violence Month, and I will be moving my seminar, Love Don't Hurt, Turning My Pain into Purpose. It will be in October. I haven't set a date yet and a place, but I will let y'all know. Please try to get your youth out. I just want to save one life. If I can save one life, then I know both of my girls' death wasn't in vain.
That's right.
On behalf of the ladies of Mu Eta Sigma Sorority Incorporated, wait a minute, my mind. The ladies of Sigma Gamma Sorority Incorporated, we would like to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for taking out the time out of your busy day. You could have been anywhere else, but you came to support our great cause. Also, Brian, whenever you have a seminar, just reach out to us and we'll help. Also, anything you have that you want us to participate, just reach out and we will be there. Also, we're gonna take a picture in a few minutes. We also have a lot of gift cards we want to give out, so you should have a red ticket, especially for our youth. If you have a phone, I need you to scan this QR code and just let us know what else can we do for you for the next youth symposium. If you haven't received the scan QR code, I will give it to you. Also, make sure you have your red tickets. Ms. Bailey, did everybody scan and sign? Because that way we know what to bring next time. Y'all want to take a quick picture when you go? Okay. You ready, Sandra? You as Sigma really appreciate the youth for coming out, because you could have been anywhere else today. Thank you for their Smith, over the Peabody, wherever school you go to, we're happy to pay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So let's get our red tickets out. If you don't have one, raise your hand. Because we want our youth to really get these gift cards, okay? Adults, if you win, I know you're gonna pass it on to a youth. Pass it on to a youth if you win, because we really want them to, we want to say thank you for coming out. This is our way to say thank you. Raise your hand high so we can make sure. Sharon, we have one in the back too. I don't know if y'all turn around. Who do not have a ticket? Sharon, right here on the side of the divider.
Need one more.
She said if y'all wanna be her friend.
Two more. Need two more.
Sunrise, come get a quick picture right quick, and then we're gonna do the youth too, if you wanna get up here. Grab the card.
Everybody got one? Yes.
Yeah, two, yeah, you can up on the mouse, come take a quick picture. Okay. Okay, y'all,